So, how are you getting along with your neighbours?
In prison?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Right. Mate, it was... so this is the thing. I go to prison the first time. All I hear about when I'm out on the streets is if you go to prison, you don't have to win the fight. You just have to fight.
Showing heart.
Yeah, you just have to stand up for yourself. And so basically I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. I know how to fight. I've had loads of fights. And so when I get to prison, I just think, okay, cool. The first person who gives it to me, I'm just going to punch him, right? Because that's what I thought in my head you got to do. And so when we have this scene in the showers where I get there, you have your first showers. I got some shower gel. And so like everyone's got their boxers on. So when I go there, this is my first time. I don't know the rules yet. And I think, well, I'm going to keep my boxers on. Didn't really know why. And just come, turn the shower on, put the shower gel on my head, and I put the shower gel on the shower thing in front of me. And while the soap's in my eyes, someone nicks my shower gel. Now I realise when I look at everyone's boxers, they've got the shower gel stashed in their boxers. And I'm like, that's why everyone's got their bloody boxers on. So I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, give me my shower gel back. I'd been there like a couple of days. No one's saying nothing. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do now? I've got to make a stand here, because if they think they can take my shower gel, they're probably going to try taking my food and whatnot else. So I just said, like, you know, okay, then fair enough, no one's going to answer it. Then whoever's took my shower gel, go, fuck your mum. And with that, Pepsi, who, I don't know what his name was, but he was really a small black kid, but he was like massive, wide. And so everyone called him Pepsi because he was small and stocky like a can of Pepsi. Crazy, right? But so I never even knew his real name. And anyway, he turned out to be the toughest kid on the wing. I didn't know that. I'm a newbie to the wing. And he come out, what'd you say about my fucking mum? And I was like, you fucking had me, give me my fucking shower gel. And we got into this altercation, and next thing we just started scuffing. But you got to remember, like, we're in our pants, we're wet, and it's water everywhere. So we're sliding all over the place. And I think if we were out on the wing, he probably would have beat me. But I got a few punches on him, and I ended up completely no marks on me at all. So now, much to what I thought was be a blessing, it was much not a blessing, was everyone on the wing was like, oh my God, Maisey's a nutter. He's crazy. This kid's crazy. This crazy white kid. And so, you know, they was like, he done Pepsi. He's beat Pepsi, the hardest guy on the wing. He's only been here not that long, and he's only 15. Right? It was mental. It was mental. It was pure fluke how I beat Pepsi. Honestly, mate. Honestly. But of course, I was 15 and I loved it. I lived off this sort of, you know, thing. No one messed with me. And no one did mess with me. But over the course of sort of being banged up for all that time, it was almost like I could sense in the air, he's not done this. If he gets a chance, he's going to try and get me.
Before we get to that, then, Pepsi getting you, there was a guy who came in who, I think he defended his girlfriend.
Jeremy.
Can you tell us that story, please?
Yeah, so basically, Jeremy had a very privileged upbringing. He'd had a good education. I think he went to private school, had a good family. Both parents were married, and he went out in Slough. And they was out one night, and when they come out of the nightclub, back then mobile phones, not everyone had mobile phones at that point, yeah? And so he said to his missus, his girlfriend, they come out of the nightclub, he said, just wait here, I'm going to go to the phone box across the road, I'm going to call a taxi. And while he was in the phone box calling the taxi, he was calling it, and he could see across the road these blokes grabbing his missus up, and she's telling them to piss off and whatnot. So anyway, he's ordered the taxi, he's put the phone, he's come back over, he's been like, what's going on? And he's got into an altercation, he's hit this guy once, and the guys fell back. The fight went into the road, and he hit him once, and he fell back, and he cracked his head on the curb, and it killed the guy straight away. One punch, protecting his girlfriend. And so when he rocked up on Quail, you could just, he stood out like a sore thumb. You know, he had nice sort of hair, clean skin, you know. You could see, oh man, this kid don't belong here, man. And how it was in there, and I think it's very similar now, but back then it was like 80-90% black, and they sort of stuck together, the black guys. And so then it left some white kids, and most of the white kids got bullied and robbed. The few stood up for themselves, like me, who just sort of trickled through. No bother.
Yeah, it's a general law of prison, I think, that whatever numbers are the most in that racial category, they pick on the least.
Yeah.
Saw that in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, just bless him, man. He just got singled out. You know, he just got singled out, and it started off with little bits, robbing little bits, and then it was bullying, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And like, you've just experiencing that for one day is hard enough, and it went on for months for him. And you know, in the end, he killed himself. He just hung himself. You know, and that was hard because it was like I'd had moments out on the wing with him. During, you get 1 hour out your cell where he would sit next to me. And the thing is like, you don't want to be associated with this guy because it might become your responsibility to protect him. And B, they might start thinking, oh, well, you're weak. I'm going to pick on you as well then. Because if I'm going to pick on him in front of you and you don't do nothing, does that mean you're weak as well? And so it was like, man, like I'm so outnumbered here, you know, like, I'm just not going to get involved. And Dredd was saying the same to me. He was like, Michael, just stay away, mate, because you're going to get drawn into that war. There's too many of them, and there's one of you. And Jeremy ain't going to fight. So I was just like observing it over months, weeks and months. And he was just lost more weight. And yeah, he just, you know, we all come out for food one day, and then within minutes they were like, back in your fucking cells, back in your cells. And as the prison guard slammed my door, the flap on the door went opened again, just enough for me to see out, and I just saw the trolley with the white blanket over it and white feet. That was how I knew it was Jeremy. It was two white feet, two big white feet. He was a tall white kid and they were big white feet, and I was like, fuck, that's Jeremy. I bet that's fucking Jeremy. And that was it. Yeah, man.
So while you were in the cell with Dredd then, what other crazy things happened around that time?
Oh, mate, there's so much happened, mate. It didn't go in the book, man.
What's the craziest?
So so this confirms the age thing. So it was on his 21st birthday. His girlfriend brought him in weed.
Dredd's girlfriend
brought him in weed. And we got stoned, basically, you know. And that was it. Yeah. So.
And was there a lot of spice or any of the other drugs?
Not back then, mate. Nah, not back then. I'm not sure if that was Dredd or if that was Raymond. I can't remember. That could have been Raymond when his girlfriend brought the drugs in. Mate, I can't remember.
So how long are you in the cell with Dredd for?
Oh, most of my time.
Most of
for the first time, yeah. Apart from when I came back from court that day, and I had the episode in the dorm.
Yeah.
But then I ended up back in the cell with Dredd after.
All right. So let's go to court then.
So yeah, sorry, it's a bit all over the place, but. So we go to court, Felton Magistrates, because I was in there on another charge. I think it was the assault on police charge, and we go to court, and there's like a trial or something going on there that day. And anyway, we get stuck in the court waiting for this other guy who's going to Felton Young Offenders, and the Securica van saying we're not leaving until all of you are in the van. So anyway, we get back to Felton Young Offenders, and the prison guards have changed over. So normally the prison guards who work in the day keep Maisey and Pepsi separated. Don't put them in the same cell. And so when I get back, the night guard's there, and he's gone, okay, cool, all the other cells are taken, I'm going to put you in the dorm. And I was like, I was excited, man. I didn't know who was in the dorm. Because when you're in your cells 23 hours a day, you just get let out and you just go to get your food. So I don't see where everyone is. And but I'd never been in a 4-man cell. I thought, this is going to be great. I'd heard all the Dread stories, man. I was a bit bored of all the stories, man. I was like, give me some new content, man. And I was like, yeah, good. And there's 3 inmates in there I can talk with. So anyway, literally got up, went into opened the cell door, went in, prison guard shut the door, and I looked around and it's Pepsi and it's 2 mates. Yeah, man. And it was like,
did your heart just sink?
Pepsi was like laying on the bed, and then he suddenly saw who it was, and he sat up on his seat, and he was like, cool, Maisey, cool, no beef, man, no beef, we're cool. And I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Do I start shouting to the prison guard, Gov, come back, get me out. And they're probably just going to rush me. Or do I try and play it cool? And I was like, this moment, it was just like, what do I do here? And yeah, man, he played it cool. He was like, there's no beef. We're cool, man. Let's talk. He was like, we'll talk. Where are you from? What do you do? We were sharing stories. Always I had like one eye on he had two of his mates in the cell, and I'm keeping an eye on both of them, making sure where I'm sitting is in the corner of the room. And then, yeah, it lights out, laid on my bed, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm just praying, please, God, please, man. Surely Pepsi wouldn't have kept me, been lying all that time. And then, yeah, just as I closed my eyes, boom, pillow over my head. And they just, like, beat me half to death, basically.
Just like punches, or they have weapons or anything?
No, just punches. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have had time. If they had started making weapons, I would have seen. So it was just like, just punches, just, I'm on the bed, and it was just everywhere, mainly in the top.
Did they have you held down in a certain position then so you couldn't move?
Yeah, so it was like pillow over my head, and just, both of them, they're just like the other two, like leaning over me and just, punching me all the top half and through the pillow as well. And oh mate, yeah, I mean, that was hard to write about, that scene. It was hard to relive that scene.
Did you start like passing out?
Yeah, like I thought this is it, because
you thought you were gonna die.
I thought this is it, I'm dead. Because I was like screaming, but it's like in threatening offenders, the dorm is like in the far corner, and the prisoner's office, the prison guard office, is right there. So it's wouldn't say it's the furthest, but it's very far away. So he would never hear my muffles through the pillow. And it just went on and on and on. And it was just like, I went through these phases of like, okay, they've got to stop. They're not fucking ever going to stop. And then it was just like saying my goodbyes in my head, thinking of my mum and thinking of it all, and then just passing out. And then it was Dread. Dread saved my life, mate. I never come back to Dread's cell. He could hear some of the commotion, and then the cells next to them was Pepsi's other mates, and they were going, fucking get him, fucking beat him, fucking, because they'd obviously passed notes through the pipe to say, we got Maisey in here, we're going to batter him. Like, I didn't know any of this. So they're all cheering it on, and Dread's heard it and gone, so there's a fight kicking off. Maisey ain't here. That sounds like Pepsi's cell, because everyone's going, Pepsi, fucking kill him, Pepsi. And he's gone, pressed the button, called the prison guard. He said, I think, did you put Maisey in that cell? Prison guard's like, yeah. He's like, fucking get up there. Get Maisey out. And so this whole process took a while, though. Dread was trying to figure it all out. And then you press the button, and the prison guard's doing a crossword or something. And he's like, oh, what do they want now? He's come stumbling along. Meanwhile, I'm getting battered. And yeah, he pulled me out, and you know, I was sort of patched up, put back in the cell with dread. Yeah, man.
So when they pulled you out of that cell, then did you go to like the medical unit?
Yeah, I went to like a medical unit. Was, you know, like assessed, and you know, it was all really like just external stuff, you know. But it was there were so many punches to my head, you know. That was what, you know, made me pass out. You know, they punched me so much that one of my eyes was just blood. It was all blood. That's how many punches I got to the head. That looking at my eye, it was just all red. One of them, and yeah, it was just, yeah, it was tough reliving that when I had to write that.
So going back to the cell with dread, you got Pepsi downstairs still, or in the area. How are you feeling about living so close to these guys now?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of them things where, like, you didn't really have a choice. You just had to sort of get on with it, really.
Can you remember the first time you actually saw Pepsi again?
Yeah, it was like a couple of days later.
And what was the reaction like?
Breakfast, just laughing.
Just laughing at you?
Laughing at me, sniggering. Calling me, you know, little bitch. Look who's laughing now, you little bitch, and all this sort of stuff.
Were you fearful that they might try and get you again somewhere?
I knew if whatever situation I was in that happened again, they wouldn't get as long as they did, and I'd have a more of a chance. And I could fight back then, you know, not now, but I knew, okay, as long as I keep my wits about me, as soon as I sense it, I just go start attacking them, and within a minute or so, the prison guards will be there, even if it's in the showers, you know, because they keep an eye out when it's in the showers. So I did fear for it, but I knew that'll never happen again, where they had like 5-10 minutes of just, you know, of just doing what they want, basically.